Welcome, everybody, to the Heal Your Hunger Show. So happy to have you here. It is a great day to be alive, and happy Valentine's Day. So, I am bringing to you another in the series on scary emotions. And the emotion I'm talking about today, which is super timely, of course, it being Valentine's Day at all and all, is desire. And I don't mean any kind of desire. I'm talking about sexual desire because why not? Like, who's talking about that? Let's talk about it, especially in the context of being an emotional eater. It's a little maybe strange, but hear me out. And before I go there, if you're here for the first time, this is where I go. I go to places that other people don't go. And that's because we have to go there. We have to dig underneath that craving for chocolate, that compulsion to eat cake, that nighttime eating, that feeling of I have to have another one, even though I just ate one. We have to dig under that. And when I talk about underlying causes, everybody thinks, you have to go dig in deep into your deep past, and 20 years of therapy later, we might get there. No, I'm going to give you my experience and the experience of so many people, nameless people, of course, but if you've known one of us, you've known many of us, maybe not all of us, but emotional eaters have a certain personality type and certain similar reactions to life. And so that's the beautiful thing about Heal Your Hunger is we're people who are relating with each other and sharing in a common solution to heal what seems like a mystery. But again, you've met one of us, you've met many of us, and we're not that mysterious after all. So I'm going to share with you my personal experience. And if you want to come back for more, there's over 500 episodes here at the Heal Your Hunger Show. Just look around, pick something that you think might be interesting to you, but keep listening. We'd love to have you learn and grow through the Heal Your Hunger Show. And if you want support to heal emotional eating, to have a step-by-step process to get there as fast as possible, definitely reach out and sign up for a free breakthrough session. You can do that on our website, healyourhunger.com. And if you haven't taken the quiz, definitely do that because that's a great first step. Take the quiz, get your personalized score of whether you're an emotional eater or a food addict. Get your score based on your answers to know what are your best steps to take. So, on with the show. So as you know, I get pretty real on this show. I don't know who's listening. That's probably for the better. But I need to bring you and want to bring you my personal experience because I do feel like my experience is every emotional eater's experience. More or less, there are exceptions to the rule, of course, but I'm like the typical emotional eater, and my experience is very typical. And when I share with my clients crazy thoughts and feelings that I've had, they're nodding away. They're on Zoom saying, oh my God, me too, me too. And that's a beautiful thing. So I'm going to give it to you straight, my personal experience. And when it comes to desire, this was a very scary emotion for me because I was ashamed of my sexuality. So I experienced sexual abuse as a young kid, like super young, from age 5 to 10. And I'm not going to go into the details of that, but the upshot of it was that I felt really ashamed for my desire, okay? My sexual urges. When you're messed with as a kid at a very young age, you have sexual feelings that you don't necessarily normally have, and you have experiences you wouldn't necessarily normally have, most likely wouldn't have until the appropriate age in adolescence or close to adolescence. But when someone messes with you sexually, uses you sexually at a very, very young age, it messes with you and it changes you. Okay, so I became very oversexed on account of learning to masturbate when I was 5, which became a compulsive habit for me very quickly. I was a relief-seeking missile because it felt so good. It felt so good, just like eating chocolate and donuts, and so it took me out of myself. It took me out of my pain. And if you've ever heard me talking about the PEP formula, PEP is an acronym, PEP, and this is a lot of what food does for us. But other addictions do this for us too. It serves as a painkiller, so it kills our angst, our emotional pain. It serves as an escape when our thoughts are so like all over the place and nutty that we just want to shut it down and sit in front of the TV and not think at all. And it serves as a punishment when we think we're bad and we think we deserve to be punished. And food will kill your pain. It will take you out of your head and your scary thoughts, and it'll feel like a punishment at the same time. And if you're thinking, oh no, I eat for reward, we'll play it out. When you're feeling sick on the couch and you don't want anybody to see your bloated face and tummy, and you hide under the covers the next day with a sugar coma, hangover, that's no reward. That's more like a punishment, right? So that's PEP, PEP, painkiller escape punishment. So both food and masturbation at a young age helped me cope, helped me get through a fairly dysfunctional family life. And I was checking out all the time with both of those things. And of course, they fed off each other, because when I was masturbating, I felt terrible about myself and didn't want anybody to know. So there's the secrecy, there's the shame that just feeds the overeating. So that's how I started with my sexuality, is with shame, with secrecy, with a feeling that I was bad and gross. Not a great start, right? So the problem with desire for me is to feel desire was to be bad, was just to be bad. And what happened in my high school years is I started drinking, and drinking alcohol enabled me to be sexual without feeling like I was bad. Of course, the next day I'd find out what I did. I was a blackout drinker. I wouldn't even remember being sexual with people, but I was promiscuous under the influence of alcohol. And the next day I would be horrified. I'd be horrified at things that I did, but I had to kind of black out and not even know what I was doing because I felt so much shame for my desire. Now, what does desire have to do with sexual abuse? It's a mixed bag when you're sexual with somebody inappropriately as a secret at a young age. As a young kid, when I was turned on sexually, it was a shameful, bad experience, right? Because somebody was using me for their pleasure or their own power trip, whatever. But also it felt good because I was being sexual, and God made us to feel good when we're sexual. But it gave me such mixed up, crazy, awful feelings, right? It feels good, but I'm bad. And so coming into my adulthood, I couldn't reconcile those things, especially because I was still living with this terrible secret. So I had to get drunk to be sexual. In my high school years and my college years, I had to be drunk because I couldn't really navigate all those strong feelings and all the thoughts I had about myself and my sexuality. So desire is a tough emotion for so many of us. Even if you didn't have sexual abuse, having desire, owning our sexuality as women is not an easy thing. As women, as one subset, and then as women emotional eaters, and it may be true for men as well. I've heard this for men who are emotional eaters. But the point is, it's hard enough as women to own our sexuality because we're taught that good girls don't like sex. And most of the women I serve are older. They're in their 50s, 60s, and 70s. And we got those messages either culturally or from our religion. And there's many religions that have just really chastised us for having sexuality. And were we to be sexual or to enjoy being sexual, we're sinning. So then they throw God in the mix, So it's like we can't win. We can't win being desirous of sex and feeling good, So it's mixed up. It's gnarly, right? And so in my healing journey, I've had to work that stuff out. I've had to do a lot of writing. I've had to do a lot of crying. I've had to sort out all the mixed messages I got both from my childhood, like my parents. They were super straight arrows. They were product of the 50s and they were very straight and religious. So the messages my sisters and I got directly or indirectly was that we're bad for having sex, premarital sex, and we're bad for just being sexual beings. It just wasn't encouraged. So I grew up feeling like I was the scum of the earth because I masturbated compulsively, trying to kill my pain, and feel good where I could because I struggled with life. I struggled with my feelings. So desire was tough for me for many years and I couldn't really own up to it. So I was passive in sex. I was passive with my partner. And for years, I didn't enjoy sex. I didn't enjoy it. I endured it. And it wasn't a great experience for me. And thank God I've spent a good amount of time doing work to clear out those old messages and to claim my sexuality, claim that I am a sexual being. To be honest, it wasn't until I left my husband that I started to really heal and own that I am a sexual being and I like sex. I actually like sex. I didn't know. I didn't have a partner that was probably the right fit for me. But I've come into my own. I really like sex and I make no bones about it. I have a monogamous partner, so I'm not being casual about sex in terms of having sex with many people. Which works best for me. I really needed the safety of having a partner that I could be myself with, be open, be loved, and be loving with. Safety's big. It's big for emotional eaters because we haven't felt safe, especially if we've been abused in our past. We've not felt safe. So it's really important that we honor ourselves and our bodies. And we, have a partner, seek a partner who is safe, who will treat us with the utmost respect and love and honor our wishes. Meaning, if it hurts, we don't do it. If we don't want it, we don't have to have it. Really important that we treat ourselves with love and respect and we demand that of others, especially in the bedroom. But I'm here to say that desire is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And having sexual desires in our bodies is often difficult for us to metabolize. Strong emotions of any kind for emotional eaters is difficult. Strong emotions are hard for us to feel, and especially emotions that make us feel out of control. One of the reasons we eat, a big reason why we eat and stuff ourselves with food is to control our feelings, to tamp down strong feelings that feel like they might get out of control. So we use food to modulate our emotions. And that's a problem, obviously, because we have a lot of emotions and we have to keep eating to keep modulating them if we're not willing to feel them. That's why I tell my clients to feel, deal, and heal, because it's hard to heal what you're not willing to feel. So feeling strong desire for somebody can be really scary for us, especially because we fear being out of control. And if we've been out of control in the past, we draw upon that experience to prove we can't afford to be out of control again. So we better keep eating. And when we use sex to escape our emotions, we can be out of control. Just like when we use food to kill our emotions or to help us escape our thoughts and feelings, we're using it in a way that it turns on us and we can't stop. So I'm just throwing some things out there for you to think about. I realize my even talking about this stuff might be triggering So if stuff's coming up for you that maybe you haven't addressed, like sexual abuse, definitely seek out help. Seek a therapist you can feel safe to talk to about these things. Abuse, it's a big thing for emotional eaters. It's a big part of why we ate, is that we didn't feel safe and we covered ourselves up with food and fat to create an illusion of safety. And we ate to kill our own desires and our own strong feelings that felt out of control. So there's a lot to work out here. But I'm here to say, that embracing that we are sexual beings is a beautiful thing. Being in a safe environment in which to explore your sexuality is a good thing. And there's some beautiful videos on YouTube, and more recently there's been a really beautiful, I think it was Emma Thompson was in a movie recently where she was an older woman who had sex with a younger man, but it was all for the purpose of her exploring her own sexuality. It's called Good Luck to You, Leo Grand. So there's some great movies out there that can help you with this topic, help you learn to make peace with your sexuality, with your desire. There's nothing wrong with it. I believe it came from God. God made us to have pleasurable feelings around sex. We just have to use it in the right way, not use it against ourselves to punish ourselves or abuse ourselves, not use it to manipulate other people, not use it as a weapon or as a way to hurt other people. There's a lot of things we can do with our sexuality that won't make us feel better, won't help us heal. But owning our sexuality, exploring our sexuality on our own, you don't have to have a partner to do it. I recommend having a really good vibrator. I'm all about like a small portable vibrator, not too small. It has to work. It has to be powerful enough to do the job. But point is, you don't have to have a partner to explore your sexuality and to make peace with your sexuality, but you do have to feel safe enough to explore and to embrace and to have experiences that might be new for you. But I've said enough. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to be joyous. You deserve to be free, and free in every way, including in your body. And I realized that when you're overeating, you don't want to have sex. The last thing I wanted to do after a binge was be touched, have a man's hands on my body. I just was like, ugh, I don't want to feel my own body. And when you're feeling my body, I feel my body, and I don't like what I've just done to it. I don't like how it's hot and sweaty, and I feel like my skin's stretching. So obviously, healing your relationship with food is integral to enjoying your sexuality. When you're treating your body with love and respect, you can better embrace all the feelings inside of you and work through them. And again, if you need to find a local therapist to help you with these things, by all means. Or if it's a conversation that would be healthy to have with your partner and get support from your partner on as a way of growing and changing and coming more into your own, by all means. I would venture that your partner would be happy to support you and to help you open up in this way. I mean, our partners want to see us free, right? It has a major impact on the relationship when you stop saying no to sex and when you start enjoying it and even pursuing it, not being the passive one. That makes a big difference. So anyway, I love you so much. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope that you're fun and frisky on Valentine's Day. Surprise him or her. Just surprise him or her with lots of love and some playfulness. Thanks so much. If you're ready to get off the dieting roller coaster ride and finally make peace with food and with your body, talk to a Heal Your Hunger mentor about what steps you need to take based on your own history with food and weight. Go to healyourhunger.com and register for an emotional eating breakthrough session and see how fast you can experience real change. It's a complimentary evaluation, but there are limited spots available. So go to healyourhunger.com and register to speak with a mentor today.